So for this one, the first note that I have is like an information about what's happening in the last rows, because you can clearly see that you can't really end here. Because if you want to end here, at some point, I mean, you must do that. There is no other way to end it here, and of course this just breaks because you are not following the entire path, okay? But this means that every one of those must be recoils of some kind. Now, this is not a big deal in theory. I should probably reduce the volume of this because it's a bit too high, sorry. Okay, that's better. Sorry. And you have these, okay? But now there is another problem in this in this puzzle, and the problem is that those can't all be horizontal recoils, because even if I try, the only way to make all of them as horizontal recoils would be this, and now I must go up and I can't go up. But this means that some of them can be horizontal recoils and the others must be vertical recoils. The problem is that even if I want to use, like, I don't know, this thing to recoil at a certain point, this one, I mean, imagine that there is a way to do so. Like you do this, okay? And so you are recoiling this cell. It doesn't really matter because even if you do that, and I mean, follow me for a second. I mean, I'm not using the rest, but let's imagine that you can do that. Let's just imagine that you can do some stuff, okay? It doesn't really matter what you do, the fact that it just breaks, but the point is that even in this case, to finish recoiling stuff, you don't have space, you don't have enough space to make all of those moves without reaching that, in any case. Because you are not starting here, you are starting at the other one, of course, at that point. So this whole thing means that in any case, the only way to finish recoiling everything here is to use stuff that is here in this side of the grid. The problem is that when you enter this area to finish recoiling these, because when you enter these, you can't exit. So if you enter here, it must be the end of the puzzle. But at that point, like, you are forced to go as at least here. Because you must do two different recoils. You must recoil these via this move. I mean, talking about this move. But when you do that, you must recoil also this one. So this one is forced in some ways. Problem is that I don't know if this one is a recoil or not, because in theory, this one could be a recoil in another direction, and then you return and go here and finish here, okay, in theory. You can count and see that the puzzle must end here, and so this one must continue, but I will not use that because, as I said, I'm not using at all the counting. It's not exactly needed for probably all the puzzles that I solved. So, yeah, absolutely not needed. So this means that via this move, you must recoil this cell. So in some ways, this cell must be recoiled in other ways. We don't know how. And also, we can X something around the grid, because now at this point, we can't exactly reach all of these. We can't exactly reach these. We can't reach any of those. We can't reach these. We can't reach these. We can't absolutely reach these in any direction. So we just close also these. And now, as you can see, you can't do that in any way. This is just not possible. And you can't do that as well, because if you try to do that, you're using these, and now you must turn, and you can't turn. So, in other words, oh, come on. This one is just not working, but the same applies here, You can't go to the other direction for obvious reasons. And also you can't do that for another reason that I will show you in a second. But all of those are done. Problem is, now I know that those two cells are done. Now we have a problem though. Like, where do you start here? Because those three must be horizontal recoils, and if you don't start exactly here to make those recoils, you are still in trouble because, again, you have this problem that you're reaching this part of the grid in which you can't go up. So the only way to make that end just go up is this. In other words, we have this piece of the puzzle that starts here and then ends here. This also means that I must go through all of these. So this one is forced. This one is just a recoil. And also this thing now would be like that, and you can't recoil from above. So this one is never a path cell. And now you can ask, is that possible to... Like, where are you going? That's the problem in this puzzle. Like, the order of the movements, okay? Why I'm saying that? Because from this point, you can't do much stuff. I'm trying to explain a little bit better the problem. You have a problem of connectivity because at the border now, you know that you are somewhat going like clockwise, okay? Okay, you can turn, but a big part of the puzzle must be done clockwise. Why I'm saying that? I'm saying that because first of all, if you don't want to reach all of these, like these are not allowed. Imagine that you are not entering all this area. This means that you are not entering this area as well. But then you can't just go through here in pretty much any direction because this direction breaks and this direction breaks. So you can't enter this one and this one as well. And now you have too many steps that are just not working because all of these must be vertical moves going downwards, this one as well. This entire thing is a bit too much. And also when you try to do that, to force horizontal moves, you're just cutting out the puzzle. So you can't really do that. At the same time, if you try to not go this way, but you go the other way around, now you don't have enough vertical moves for this to be used. So this whole thing means that you must take. Sorry, you must come on. That you must take this path, and because you must take this path, you can't go up to the end segment either, right? You mean this move? You mean this move? Waiting for Math Guy to answer. Joining. Oh, with this you mean like that? No, you just can't do that because you have you need too many moves. But my point was not about the connecting. I was just talking about the entire column. The entire column to I probably I didn't explain it well, but I'm not understanding your point though. Okay, you say no. just the one more cell prior to the current end section. The left end of the end segment can be preceded by an up move. Oh, you mean this? You mean this move? Okay, okay, I see. Yeah, absolutely, because this is taking those moves. Yeah. This is clearly not working. Yeah, yeah, absolutely true. Yep, exactly. Nice. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going down this way, and now those are 3 moves going down. So I'm closing in those 3 things. So this one goes this way now. And from this point, I must turn, taking this cell. And now I can't turn again, so I must turn down. And now it's already relevant. Because if I try to go to the right, now I can't go down. I don't have enough moves here. So I must go down or I must go to the left, okay? So this is all working this way. But now, now that I know that I am in this direction, I was talking about what happens in the border because of this. Because now here you're going clockwise and here you're going clockwise, okay? So if you want this to be part of the puzzle of the path, so you must go this way because you can't go in the other way because it traps. This one clearly doesn't work because this one must come from somewhere, like here, and then this one breaks. So this thing just doesn't work, and this one is just not part of the puzzle. And now that we have this situation, it's pretty clear that we can't just switch direction in the other like anti-clockwise and then return, because we don't have enough space to like reconnect because of the way the holes are constructed. It's just graph theory. You're starting this direction, so you are continuing there around the border. You can't really change orientation of that before it's like near enough to the end, because if you try to do that at a certain point, you must cross. That's pretty much the problem, and the same applies every time you try and everywhere you try. You just can't do that. This whole thing means that when you want to go through this point to this point, in this direction, you must take this move, this cell, in some ways, because you must go here. That's one of the problems. And the same applies every time. Like, you must go through here, and you must connect through here. If you don't want to go through here and you avoid entirely this area, this means that somehow you are using these, and you just can't use this, because you still need too many stuff to the left to be recoiled, and you can't. The easiest way to see that is that even if you can go here and then go up and up and up, maybe this way, 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 or I mean, you must go up, yeah. You have all of these down that are never recoiled at this point, so also those two at the end. I mean, there is too much stuff to do, and you just can't do that. This whole thing means that you must travel through this area. And when you travel through this area, okay, you could go down and not touch up, but you, at a certain point, you must recoil stuff. And like, for example, this cell at this point can't be recoiled by a vertical move going down. You must use a vertical move going to the right somehow in a certain point at a certain at a certain point, okay? So you must do that. And when you know that you must do that, it's clear that you are doing a lot of stuff because, like, first of all, you cannot do these. Because if you do that, at this point, you can't continue. You can't go down. We already said that this is just breaking because you must do that, and this move is not allowed at all. You can do that. And because you can do that, at this point, you should be forced to go up and then to the right, and you can't go to the right because you have nothing to recoil to the right, okay? So in other words, this one is never taken, and so the path now is gonna be forced to be like that. And when you know that the path is gonna be like that, now this move must be recoiled horizontally. You must use this cell, you must use this cell, so this cell uses this, and now this one uses the other one, so you must go to the left here. And now this one connects this way now, and you need a vertical recoil for this cell to be forced for this one, and that move must be a vertical move going down, and you can't use it too low because you must take this one before. You must take it before you go there, so the maximum you can do is this, but this one is clearly not working because that would recoil this cell and you can't. So in other words, because you can't do that, you're forced to make this move and then this move. And so you have this situation with this going up this way, and now this one connects this way, and now this one connects this way now. And now this move must recoil this cell, and now we are here. Those two moves are recoiling down, so they are clearly recoiling this cell and this cell because they are the two near one. Because if you don't want to recoil those two cells, you must recoil this one, and you can't. So this one must connect this way at this point, and now this one can't go down anymore, so it must continue this way, recoiling this cell and this cell. And now here you can't trap yourself, you must go down, and from this point, clearly you can't continue this way because you have too many recoils in the horizontal section, so you must go this way now. And then oh yeah, and then you must recoil this cell. How do you recoil this cell? This cell must be recoiled by a vertical move going up. So the only way to do that is this. And now clearly you can't connect, so you must turn. So this one must turn this way. This one recoils this cell. And now because you must recoil this cell as well, you must do that now. And you can just turn because this one would be trapped. So you must turn again. So this one turns here, and now this one can't just connect this way because this one would just be trapped. Well, unless you are connecting it this way, of course. But then this one goes down, and you recoil this cell, or this cell, because this one can't go down. And if you go here, you can't go down and you can't go up, so you would be trapped. So you must recoil this way now, and this is the end of the puzzle, and it must be connected this way. And when you do that, this one goes down, and this one goes down again. And now you have 1, 2, and 3 moves going down. And you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 moves going upwards. So clearly I can't go to the right, because then here I will need another recoil that can't happen. Just can't happen here. I'm saying that because I can't make an horizontal recoil for those two moves because I have not... I mean, I could do that, but then this one would be trapped, so I just can't do that. So I need another move down to recoil 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. Oh, come on, 3 and 4 times. Now this one recoils here, and the other one recoils here, and is forced. And And now this move and this move must be horizontal recoils, so they must be this one and this one. So this means an important thing, that is the fact that this one must be a recoil vertically, happening before all of these. And this means that this one goes this way because you can't just straight connect. And you need a move, and that move like must be before this one. So it must be down here somewhere. I mean, I could do this probably. Could do this thing, but if I try to do this thing now, I must go 1, 2, 3, and 4 things up. So I'm creating another wall. We already used that concept, and we can't create a wall here. So this is not gonna go this way to create those two. So it must be this move. And when you do this move, this one must go up. This means, and then to the right, recoiling this cell, of course. And at this point, this one recoils this, and now I can't continue down, so I must go to the right, recoiling this one, and now I can go up. And this just connects. And now the wall upper side is done, and at this point here I must go to the right, and I must create a move that is clearly not this one, because this one would recoil here, and now I have nothing to recoil for this. So like this one must be the recoil for this down. And so you must go to the right, and here you connect up, so this move can recoil down here. So you need another thing that recoils here, and the only thing that can recoil here is this one, so this one is recoiled. And now this move recoils this, so this move can finally recoil the last step down, so the entire last row is done. And when you do that, you find out that this cell now is not used. Is not recoiled at all by anything, because this one is at the end, and so you can't recoil this with something that is nearer, but before. So this one must be recoiled by this move, and when you recoil by this move with this, now this one must be recoiled by another move, and so you must go up 2 times. And now from here you must go up. Now you can't continue up, you can go to the right because that breaks, so you must go to the left. Now you can't continue, so you must go up again. You can't go up again, so you must go to the left. Now you can't go down, you must go to the left again. You occupy everything here. This one is clearly now recoiling down here. That's working. Those two things now are recoiling here and here. And from this point here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 move horizontally here in this thing. So I must remember that I'm recoiling some stuff horizontally here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's already too much. That's already too much. So this one must be recoiled by this, of course, unless I'm going all the way up. But not only that, I just okay. This one recoils here. That's the easy way to think about it. Yeah, those two things must recoil, this one and this one, because they are horizontal moves going to the right. So I must use something that recoils here and here. And the only way to recoil here and here is to make vertical moves. Now, if I try to make to go straight, I occupy this, so I must go up. And now I must go to the left, and now I must take 2 times to recoil this one, so I must recoil this way. And now when I connect, I finish, because everything else is recoiled at this point. Why everything else is recoiled? Because this move recoils this, and now this move recoils this cell, and all the rest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are recoiled by these, and this move is recoiled by this move up, and it completes.